Hey guys, UrbanSuburban here. Got another knife video for you. And it's going to be a fairly quick one because I'm getting absolutely eaten alive by the mosquitoes out here today. They are absolutely horrendous, so I'm going to be going quick on this. Sorry if I rush a few things. As you can see here, I have the Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight. And this is the blue version. You can also get it in a black handle version. I've had this for 2 or 3 weeks now. Absolutely thrilled with it. It is actually exceeded my expectations, which is why I'm doing the review. We'll go over some specs real quick here before I get into some use of this knife. The overall length is just over 8 inches, a hair over 8 inches. The blade length is 3.37 inches. Closed, it's 4.6. And the blade thickness on the spine is 0.125 inches. You can see it's kind of the traditional Spyderco leaf-shaped design blade. Large spidey hole here gives you great purchase. And as you can see, it is the CTS BD1 blade steel. Now, I'm not very familiar with this steel. This is the first knife I've ever had with this. It's a, I guess, a newer steel. It's a stainless steel, and I guess it's considered a higher end, up with like a VG10, S30V, that sort of thing. So far, I've been very impressed with it, though. Again, this is the lightweight version of the Manix 2, so there are no liners inside here whatsoever. This is the translucent blue handles, and they call these FRCP, or a fiberglass reinforced copolymer, I believe. Basically a plastic. And as you can see, I can actually squeeze these together a little bit. But I have found it doesn't affect the function of the knife whatsoever. You can see inside there is metal around the locking mechanism, and it is their ball bearing lock. And this thing locks up. It's like a vault. There is zero play, up, down, side to side, and with that ball bearing lock, easy one-handed opening and closing. And like all Spydercos that I've received, mosquitoes, it just gets better and better with use. They come a little stiff to start with, but you just got to break them in a little bit and they get smoother and smoother. And this one's no different. So there's the specs. Oh, there's a pocket clip, left or right side, tip up only, and it's their really lightweight skeletonized clip. Doesn't look all that tough, but I've had no issues with it yet. I consider this basically a truly, purely EDC blade, because there's no liners or anything like that. I don't think you don't want to be batoning with this or reefing on anyway. Not that you can't. I wouldn't trust it. There are a lot of other knives that I think would be more suited to that, and I mean, I think that's fairly obvious by the construction of it. But having said that, I have used this quite a bit, and it has held up very well, and I'm very happy with it. Oh, and I guess the biggest spec that I missed that is kind of crucial, this being the Manix 2 lightweight, is it's 3 ounces. That huge blade and full handle, if I can get my whole hand in frame here, I'll zoom out a little bit. 3 ounces. That is unreal. Most tiny little knives are around 3 ounces. This is I would call a full size, if not oversized EDC at 3 ounces. So fantastic. And now with all the bugs, I can't even. You can see the little critters there now. But let's put this thing to some use. Okay guys, we'll take this thing through my standard battery of EDC tests, starting with my zip ties, zap straps, whatever you want to call them here. This is a fairly actually heavy duty one. It's very stiff, a little bit thicker gauge plastic, but it'll go through. Takes a little bit of pressure, but I'll see if I can grip this enough to get it to go through again. There we go. So yeah, it'll go through the heavier plastics. Again, cardboard, probably your primary EDC sort of function, no problem. That's CTS BD1 steel. Goes right through that cardboard, and I'd call that a medium weight cardboard. Nothing crazy, but goes through there no problem. Very comfortable handle. There's no movement. You don't feel any flex in the blade. Very, very comfortable. You can see that's not really the lock bar on the back, but that's part of the locking mechanism. So that's all metal construction as part of that ball bearing lock, which is very smooth, very nice. Got a little bit of green wood here. That shouldn't have too much of a problem cutting through as expected. Again, I don't consider this a true woods blade, although for backpacking it is nice and light. You can't beat the weight, and I think the capability is there for lighter tasks anyway, especially stuff like food preparation in camp. That blade shape, fantastic. I actually use this quite a bit at home, just to see how it's worked, but cutting tomatoes, cutting cheese, different vegetables, even some meat, and then obviously washing it well after. But it's for food preparation, fantastic. Spreading like margarine, butter. But it will, as you can see, cut through wood without too many issues here, especially if you use a little bit of leverage against your chest. I mean, this is a pretty good chunk of wood here, but not a problem carving this down whatsoever. Also have a little bit of standing dead here, so this stuff is quite dry. So that obviously has different cutting properties than the fresh green. But again, as well, no problem, even going through some little branches there, and they're knots. You can carve this down to a point fairly quick here, a rough point anyway. No problem. A little bit of pine. Now this has been out in the rain for quite a while, so it's a little wet, so I'm not going to try and burn it, but as you can see, no problem there, shaving down some nice curls, feathers, whatever you want to call them. Again, this is like many of the Spydercos, a full flat grind, so for this kind of thing, fantastic for that kind of shaving, slicing. Not the best for batoning or splitting, but I wouldn't recommend that with this knife anyway. That's not what it's for. Could you? Probably. But why would you? Unless it's an absolute emergency, which could happen. So, there you go. There's that. Clean this up a little bit. And again, this is the factory edge on here. I have not touched this up whatsoever yet. I would think it probably could use a little touch-up, even just on a ceramic rod, but straight out of the box, and then with some use over the last couple of weeks and today. This paper is a little wet, so it's not going to cut the greatest, but as you can see, once it gets in there, it's still, I wouldn't call it shaving sharp, but it'll still cut paper. And to be honest, even when I got it, I wouldn't have called it shaving sharp. It'll cut paper. This little bit soggy paper is a little tough, but it's definitely still got a usable edge on it. There we go. So a little touch up on the ceramic rod. I'm interested to see how this steel sharpens. With a full flat grind, it's fairly easy to sharpen, or I find it not bad anyway. But 3-ounce full-size EDC knife, that's pretty hard to come by. Tip up carry. Very fast deployment, one-handed closing. There's not much to not like about this. And again, you can get in this blue, which happens to match my coat today, or black, or you can get it in the non-lightweight version in a black G10 if you want something a little more robust and aren't worried about the weight. Have the same blade though. There's also an XL version of this, which is even larger. Obviously costs more. This, I believe, I paid, I got this on sale, and I want to say it was right around $90, which I'd pay that again without even thinking about it for this knife. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to rush a little bit here because I have a cloud of about 1,000 mosquitoes around me. This has been Urban Suburban. This is the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight. Have a good day. And of course, for you guys that are big fire steel fans and it's really important to you that a knife is able to throw a spark, I have not touched up this spine whatsoever. This is exactly how it comes to you out of the box. I'd say that'll throw a spark. Who says you need high carbon steel?